Hey, everybody, it's Chris. Hey, before we get into the episode here today, I want to just kind of let you guys know what's been going on in our neck of the woods. So, over the course of the years of doing this show, there's two things that we've really come to really love and enjoy. One is the fact that, once a week or so, I actually get to hang out with my friends. And whether it's playing trivia questions or doing stuff for Boozy Bracketology, it's become something that I genuinely enjoy. But it's also opened up the world to a whole bunch of different people that I never would have met if I hadn't started or if we hadn't started doing this show. And a few of those people have reached out asking, how can we support the show? Now, Jeff, Mike, myself, and our wives have kind of sat down and talked through what this looks like. And what it kind of boils down to is this. We didn't want to just set up something where it's like, hey, give us money for nothing. It didn't feel right. So instead, we've decided to actually go ahead and start our own Patreon. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/PTEBB. This Patreon is going to be our home for exclusive bonus content for both the Pub Trivia Experience and Boozy Bracketology. You're going to get regular episodes on there. You're going to get, for Boozy Bracketology fans, our monthly Bracket Revisited episode will be dropping on there as well. Bonus content throughout the course of the month. There's stickers, a whole bunch of fun stuff. We're going to be launching our own apparel site over probably on Redbubble here in the coming months as well. But really, from me, I just want to say thank you. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I get it that not everyone can support financially. I understand that. I've been in tight times, and I know that times are tight right now for a lot of people. What I would ask that you do is, if you do enjoy the show here at the Pub Trivia Experience and/or Boozy Bracketology, log on to wherever you listen to the podcast. Give us a 5-star rating. Write us a review. That'd be amazing. You can always email the show, pubtriviaexperience@gmail.com. Let us know what your thoughts are. But you've heard enough from me. Without further ado, you're about to hear more from me. Have a good one. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris, and tonight I have got a couple of my friends together, and we're going to try and actually go through something that comes up in pub quiz a lot that some people are either really good at or really bad at. If you're not like a huge mega nerd who reads comic books, this actually is going to be very helpful for you, because we're going to be doing comic book trivia with, honestly, two of the biggest nerds I know. And a lot of these questions, while they may not come up in this iteration in Pub Quiz, are going to come up from time to time, especially when you get to those nerd level categories. So, let's go ahead, let's meet our panelists. We have a one-on-one game here tonight. We're going to start all the way out in Fort Worth, Texas. Steven, my friend, how you doing? What you drinking?
Doing well, sir. I've just cracked open a refreshing can of Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Major Melon, sucking it down as the supplies dwindle in the stores because of retiring this flavor. So I'm enjoying it while I can.
Well, Steven, that sounds actually very lovely. It's good to know that you are off of your nightmare of Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
Oh my God. Those are, now I won't be able to sleep tonight. You reminded me of the horror.
Callbacks to episodes on a different podcast. You gotta love it. Steven, I might be the only one drinking tonight, which is a sad thing. But I have got, this here is a bottle. It's the Jefferson Chef Collection, which is a Jefferson special bottle. And it's a mixture of heavy rye whiskey and the Jefferson bourbon, which the Jefferson bourbon's top notch. I've never had the rye by itself. But this right here, this chef's collaboration, is getting the job done. Nice little burn going down. You really taste the rye, and the bourbon kind of mellows out at the end. I can't shake a stick at it. I don't even know what that phrase means. But you know what? Maybe Tony does. Tony, sir, how you doing? What you drinking?
I'm doing pretty good, Chris. Thanks for asking. No, I actually did end up grabbing something for tonight, and it is my Woodford Reserve Double Oaked local store pick.
Which store was that?
Lucan's for
That's a good
those in the Tampa area.
That's a really good pick. I've been in that store a handful of times, and I just keep walking by it and not buying it.
You need to buy it. It's such a good pick, and
know.
for what it's worth, it's only $3 more than the standard.
Here's the problem: is I'm looking over at my shelf right now of boxes I have not bottles I haven't cracked yet. I just went to Davidoff and I bought an Old Elk store pick from Davidoff. I bought a High West double rye pick, finished in sherry casks, a Stranahan's pick. I still have a Rebel pick from Sunshine Liquors that I haven't opened. And my buddy at work just bought me a bottle of Crown Royal Rye, 16-year. This is, I think it's called their Noble Collection that I cracked for Boozy Bracketology a couple days ago. That is amazing. So I have too much bourbon in this house. And I've got about 4 bottles over there that are for bottle kills too. So I'm not buying anything until I get through some of these.
I understand that. I finally got a little bit of a backlog, but I've been drinking too much, man.
It's COVID, man. Although we're getting vaccinated, guys. We can start feeling safe about going out. I am 6 days from my dose number 2, so I am ready just to go crazy and not leave the house while vaccinated. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm 6 days into my first dose, so hopefully
good for you.
That second one soon. Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have got comic book trivia here for you tonight, and I will tell everybody none of these are deep cuts. We're not diving too deep into the comic book world, and these are going to be a mixture of comic book general knowledge facts and movie facts. I will caution our panelists. I know you are both very big nerds, and we know that comic books like to go back and rewrite some of their stories. We are looking for the general answer here. There may be, and I guarantee on a lot of these, there are multiple answers. We're looking for the most associated answer, though, okay? With that being said, the opening round that we're going to have, this game is going to be very fast-paced. The opening round is 20 questions. Each player is going to get 10 questions. We're going to start with Tony. And the questions that they're going to get for the pregame round is going to be 10 questions that are all very, very basic, very easy questions. Throughout the entirety of this episode, they're going to get 1 point for every correct answer. Tony, sir, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Tony, question number 1. Which member of the Birds of Prey team has an ultrasonic attack known as the Canary Cry?
That would be the Black Canary.
That is Black Canary, 100%. Good job. Number 2, who portrayed Billy's superhero alter ego in the 2019 movie Shazam?
That would be Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi is correct. Next question. Before becoming Cyborg, what sport did Victor Stone play?
Football for the Gotham Knights.
He did. Thank you. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. And Steven, I believe you are in favor of hashtag restore the Snyderverse. So we'll get to that here in a few minutes. Next question, Tony. Which superhero is the alter ego of John Jones?
The Martian Manhunter.
That is the Martian Manhunter. Spoiler alert, for some reason present in the aforementioned Snyder Cut. Steven, do you have thoughts?
I have many thoughts that will not contain themselves within the confines of this podcast, sir. Perhaps more. I have as many thoughts as there are slow motion scenes in the Snyder Cut, and that's far too many for now.
Well, when they said unite the 7, I didn't think the 7th was going to be Martian Manhunter, and he wasn't really united. But neither here nor there. Tony, question number 5. What is Clint Barton's superhero name?
Hawkeye.
That is correct. Tony is 5 for 5. The Fantastic Four live in what tower?
Oh my gosh. Chris, I'm going to have to pass on this one. I cannot think of what it's called.
Oh, Tony is incorrect. Steven, for no points, do you know the answer?
They're in the Baxter Building.
It is the Baxter Building. All right, Tony.
I knew it as soon as he said it.
I'm going to give you a little bit more time on this one because this is actually asking you to release things in chronological order.
Okay.
In chronological order of the Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline, what are the first 3 MCU movies, and I will caution you by saying the primary story takes place in these. We're not counting the multiple versions that happened in Endgame.
Okay, so chronological, not release date?
Correct.
Okay, so that would be, from first to last, it would be Captain America, the first Avenger.
Correct.
Captain Marvel.
Correct.
And then Iron Man.
That is correct. Nicely done, Tony. Question number 8. In the Spider-Man Homecoming film, what is the name of Peter Parker's best friend?
Ned.
Ned is correct. Tony, question number 9. What is Eric Lernschner's... Wow, I mispronounced that because I've been drinking. What is his supervillain name?
Eric Lernschner.
Lehnsherr. What is his
I
supervillain
cannot
name?
think of him at the moment. No. Either you pronounced it so long that I can't recognize it, or I just don't know.
I think it's Lenscher, actually. I'm sorry. Eric Leshner. Steven,
Nope.
do you want to help him out?
Eric Lynchner?
Lenscher.
Lenscher?
Lehnsherr.
Come on. It's Magneto. It's Magneto's real name.
Bunch of movies out there about this guy. It is Magneto. Nicely done. No points for Steven, though.
I do not remember his last name being that.
All I think of is Patrick Stewart saying Eric, and that just from X2, and that just brings me right back to it.
There's just a lot of Erics in comics.
That's actually a fair point. But Steven, question
I
number...
feel like that name actually got changed too. I feel like it was something else in the way back when.
Maybe Maximoff.
I think Steven is right.
It has. In the iteration of Fox and in the comics, though, that's his common last name, at least for a good portion of them. Last question for you here, Tony. What was the name of the town where Clark Kent grew up?
Smallville.
All right,
Wonderful
Tony.
TV show.
Steven, do you have any thoughts on the TV show's theme song?
As I've said, the theme song is a wailing nothing burger that goes on forever, much like the 10 years of superhero edging that is the show.
If you want to hear more of Steven's hot takes on television show theme songs, head on over to the Boozy Bracketology podcast. In the month of March, we did the best television theme song bracket, and Steven, not a fan of the Smallville song. Not at all. Tony, in your round, you picked up 8 correct answers out of 10. Nicely done, sir. Steven, you're up. All right, we're going to start here. You get 10 questions. In the Guardians of the Galaxy universe, which of the Guardians sacrifices themselves in order to save the rest from their spaceship's crash on Xandar?
Groot.
Groot is a correct answer. Which Marvel character has a daughter named Cassie?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man is correct. What is Black Panther's real name?
T'Challa.
T'Challa is correct. Bruce Banner became the Incredible Hulk when exposed to what?
Gamma radiation?
Gamma radiation is correct. Which superhero wields the lasso of truth?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman is correct. 5 for 5 so far, Steven. What was the agreement the United Nations forced the Avengers to sign after Wanda's mistake in Nigeria?
The Sokovia Accords.
The Sokovia Accords is correct. What is Mr. Fantastic's real name?
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards is correct. In the DC universe, what object, or more specifically location, can bring someone back to life?
A Lazarus Pit.
The Lazarus Pit is correct. Number 9, what is the Punisher's real name?
Frank Castle.
Frank Castle is correct. Steven, number 10, which member of the Avengers saves Manhattan from the impending doom of an active nuclear missile?
Iron Man?
Iron Man is correct. All right, that is your pregame round, everybody. We are coming out of it with a score of 10-8. Steven has got a very slight lead. And with that being said,
Steven.
Nicely done, Steven. Nicely done.
Yeah, I feel like mine were a little bit easier.
I wasn't going to say it, but thanks.
Yeah, they were. I apologize. I literally shuffled that deck up, and that's how it came out.
No, you're fine.
So we're going to go 2 questions by 2 questions. Each person is going to get both an easy question and a hard question. And when I say this, again, easy is like brutally honest easy. It's basics for comic books and comic book movies. Hard is going to require a little bit of insight into the community. A lot of these questions are going to be easy for avid comic book fans. And both of these gentlemen that we have here they're like me. They love their comic books. And like me, probably have seen damn near every comic book movie. Again, go back, check out the Boozy Bracketology podcast. We all waxed poetic about it, and I think that was August or September of last year. Neither here nor there. Tony, being that you are trailing by 2 points, each correct answer is with 1 point. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first. No problem.
All right. Tony, do you want to start with your easy question or your hard question?
Give it to me hard, Chris.
Yes, sir. Tony, which British actor has played a villain in a DC movie as well as an anti-hero in a Marvel movie? And I will caution you, I said a Marvel movie, not an MCU movie. I'm looking for the British actor who played a villain in a DC movie as well as an anti-hero in a Marvel movie.
Oh, I forgot he was British. Josh Brolin. Wait,
Josh?
No.
I gotta take it. You said it.
Yeah, I did.
Josh Brolin is not a correct answer. Correct. It is not. Steven, for no points, do you know what the answer is?
I actually don't off the top of my head.
The correct answer, I'm not going to do the voice. I'm totally going to do the voice. When Gotham is in ashes, then you have my permission to die. It is Tom Hardy. He played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises and the anti-hero Venom in the terrible movie Venom.
Yeah, I just blocked Venom out of my mind. That's why I couldn't remember.
Oh, no, that movie is as bad as a turd in the wind. It's that bad. Tony, moving on to your easy question. What material is Captain America's shield made from?
I'm just going to say the obvious answer that everybody would know, which is vibranium.
That is the correct answer they're looking for. I know.
Okay.
I know.
Not proto-vibranium or proto-antimantium.
No. They're looking for the basic answer of vibranium.
Yep.
Although your nerd bona fides are intact, my friend. Steven, do you want your easy question or your hard question?
I like a little romance first. Let's start easy.
All right. Steven, what is Norman Osborn's supervillain name?
The Green Goblin.
He is the Green Goblin. Steven, your hard question. Peter Parker lived on what street in New York City?
See, I want to say Yancey Street, but that's the thing. I might not know this. Yeah, I can't think of it. I'm just going to say Yancey Street.
The answer that I have here is Chelsea Street. I think I could be way wrong here. I thought Yancey Street, when I hear that, I thought that was the street he lived on in Queens, not when he lived in the city.
See, maybe that's what it is. I always associate Yancey Street with the Thing. So.
Oh. No.
Yeah. I have Ingram Street in my head.
Oh.
That doesn't sound familiar to me at all. But
I think that's the house that they have out in when Ben dies.
Yeah, we talked about when he's living with Mary Jane, when he's living with Aunt May. Come on.
Yeah. We've been given too many Spider-Man addresses in our lives.
I agree.
Also, we didn't say which Spider-Man, so.
Okay.
Could have been Miles Morales.
It's not the Miles Morales. Even though I could make the argument, maybe the superior Spider-Man.
That argument definitely could be made. Oh, I see what you did there, and I don't like it.
I like that run.
It's a good run.
The run of Otto Octavius as Spider-Man, I thought was actually really good. I like that a lot.
Because he's actually better than Peter Parker, yes.
He's so much better.
At the end of the day, yeah, he got overwhelmed, but he was much better than Peter Parker.
I think that's why I don't like it.
No.
All right, Tony, we're back to you. We're going to go with your easy question first. Which of these is not a DC Comics villain? The Clock King, the Swiss Army Man, Calendar Man, or Captain Boomerang?
What were the first two again, Chris?
The first two were the Clock King and the Swiss Army Man.
I want to say that it's Swiss Army Man.
That is a correct answer. The Swiss Army Man is not. That is completely made up and total bullshit. And Steven, the fact that we are on the explicit tag on me and not you is a little embarrassing for you.
You can run a after the show thing where we just talk about the Snyder Cut, and I'll get you that explicit tag.
Ooh,
I thought about doing a bonus episode of watching the Snyder Cut, but I'm not editing 4.5 hours of that.
that is a long ass movie.
Unpopular opinion.
Not a
You're
movie.
right.
Unpopular
You're right,
opinion. I liked it a lot.
Oh, I did too.
I thought it tied the Snyderverse together very well. It was much better than the Justice League.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. It's better
Yes.
than that. But
It's a long experience, not a movie.
Yes.
It's a long
Not a movie.
experience. I did like it though. I will say this: there are parts of the original Justice League I liked more. Like, why wouldn't you have Batman bring Lois Lane to Clark Kent? That makes no sense. Like, he's the world's greatest detective. He knows Lois is the key. Why wouldn't he be the one to bring Lois to Superman when he's going apeshit crazy? Neither here nor there. We're back to the game. Back to the game. No more Snyder Cut.
Till later.
All right. Steven, we're going to start with your easy question.
Wait, did I get my hard question?
You
You
did not.
I did not.
Tony, here is your hard question. What is the name of the spear that Aquaman uses?
The what?
What is the name? They call it the spear. It's a trident. What's the name of Aquaman's trident?
The Trident of Atlan?
That is not a correct answer.
What? It has another name?
It is the... Actually, Steven, do you know?
Trident
I'm not an Aquaman guy.
of Neptune?
It is the trident of Neptune.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Steven, starting with your easy question, what is Barry Allen's superhero name?
The Flash.
It is the Flash. Steven, your hard question. Which Game of Thrones cast member was also a member of the cast for X-Men Apocalypse?
X-Men Apocalypse. I kind of like that one. Oh, no. I was thinking of Days of Future Past. X-Men Apocalypse is terrible. I don't know. Since they gave me Jason Momoa.
That is incorrect. Tony, do you have an answer?
What was the question? Sorry.
What Game of Thrones cast member was also a cast member in the film X-Men Apocalypse?
Oh, Sophie
I
Turner.
know.
Sophie Turner.
It's Sophie Turner.
Yeah. I knew it
My
as
wife
soon
has
as-
a hard-on for her.
That's a really weird statement.
It's just the truth.
Tony, we're back to you. We're going to start with your easy question. Captain America's companion and ally, Sam Wilson, goes by what alter ego? Hold on.
Falcon.
It's the Falcon. In the general connotation of Sam Wilson, he is generally known as...
I don't know if you've been watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Who
but
the hell
I
are you
love...
talking to?
Okay, granted. But I love the fact that Marvel called themselves out on their bullshit by saying,
Yeah,
I'm not Black Falcon, I'm just Falcon.
I did get that, and I liked it a lot.
I loved it so much.
It'd be nice if Cap's wingman had my back. Dude, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your hard question. Tony, who is Kane Marco's stepbrother? This will never come up at trivia, by the way. This will never come up at trivia.
His stepbrother, sorry, it's Juggernaut. So it is Professor X.
That is correct. It is Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
Also, unrelated opinion. Vinnie Jones as Juggernaut, pitch perfect.
Oh, spot on.
Him saying "I'm Juggernaut, bitch" was the only good part of The Last Stand. Steven.
I have to object. Kelsey Grammer as Beast is perfect.
Oh, I did forget about Kelsey Grammer as Beast. You're right. Steven, you're up. Your easy question, and I'm going to emphasize quotation marks on easy. In what decade was the first modern comic book printed? Was it the teens, the 30s, the 50s, or the 60s?
What do we consider modern comic book?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a little bit trippy.
So when we went out of the, not when we left, but when we really kind of got away from the Western genre and started moving more towards the current iteration of comics.
Okay, I'm going to say the 30s because 30s is when comic books actually start. But I'm confused by the question, so I'll go with the 30s.
The 30s is the correct answer, though.
I didn't want to help him because modern era definitely is like 80s and beyond because it's golden era, silver era, modern era.
Yeah,
they're
that's what was confusing.
When they're
about
saying
it,
the first modern comic book, what they're referring to, I'm inferring they're referring to the
Action
size,
one.
the shape, the
that's actually printed
action
in a book.
com.
not
Yeah,
a-
exactly. It's not the spaghetti westerns that used to be printed. All right, Steven, your hard question: what is the Green Lantern's weakness?
The color yellow, the most ridiculous weakness in all of comic books. Come on. It's not even like the opposite color on the wheel. What are you doing with your lives? The funniest panel in all of comics is the one where Batman traps him in the room where they painted the room yellow and he's painted him and Robin yellow. It's so ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing. The color. Come on. That's why I can't get into Green Lantern because that is just too stupid for comic books.
In Lightest Day and Darkest Night.
Oh no, someone has a number 2 pencil. Don't stab me with it. It's yellow.
I asked Leah these questions earlier, and she got like 70% of them right. And she got to that one. I said, well, you have to remember, Green Lantern's the only member of the Justice League that cannot run a yellow light. Red, green, no problem. Yellow light, he's got to stop, and he's probably going to die. Nicely done, Steven. The score right now is 14-12 in favor of Steven, and we're going back to Tony. Tony, your easy question first. And this is going back to the MCU in the movie Thor Ragnarok. Where did Loki send his father while impersonating him back on Asgard? Was it Norway, Sweden, Greenland, or New Zealand?
None of the above. He sent him to New York City. He ends up in Norway, but Loki leaves him in a old...
Holy shit, you're right. He left him in a retirement home.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
can
the retirement
confirm,
home
yeah.
in NYC. Because that's why...
That's right, because they got there and it's
knows they're
torn
there.
down, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Tony gets the points. Good job. Tony, your reward for that is your hard question. What is the best-selling comic book of all time?
Oh, shit. It's not The Dark Knight Returns, is it?
I am going to need an answer, and I cannot give you hints.
Oh, God. That is hard. I'm going to go with The Dark Knight Returns.
The Dark Knight Returns is not a correct answer. I believe that was released episodically, if I'm not mistaken, and then turned into a graphic novel.
That might be.
But not a correct answer. The best-selling comic book of all time. Steven, do you have any idea?
I don't know if this is still true, but I believe at once upon a time it was X-Men #1, the volume 2.
Shit.
It was X-Men #1 when they relaunched the X-Men. I think it was the late 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when
I know
Scott
exactly.
started drawing it. Yeah.
Yep.
All
I know
right.
exactly what issue you're talking about, too.
Steven, we are moving on to you. We're going to start with your easy question. In the DC universe, who is the Oracle?
In the DC, Barbara Gordon.
Barbara Gordon is correct. And that always confuses me because, like, the Killing Joke is not canon, yet she somehow ends up in a wheelchair. In parts
Is the
of
Killing
DC.
Joke
Yeah,
not
apparently
canon?
at some point the Joker did shoot her in the spine, but Batman didn't get revenge, because that's what happens in the Killing Joke.
Yeah, it's dark.
Don't watch the film version of it, but the actual...
No.
Dude, please don't watch the film version of it.
As incredible as Mark Hamill is as Joker, that was the worst Batman animated film.
I did just watch Gotham by Gaslight, which is actually really good.
Fun movie. Selena Kyle, and that is.
Yes. Steven, here is your hard question. Which dimension does the Ancient One show Doctor Strange in order to practice his magic in a safe environment?
Safe environment, that's the mirror dimension.
That is the mirror dimension. Good job.
Is the mirror dimension really a safe environment, though?
No, I think that was proven later on in the film that it was not a safe environment.
Exactly.
Tony, we're going to start with your easy question. The Scarlet Speedster is a nickname for what superhero?
My homeboy, the Flash.
That is the Flash. Nicely done. Your hard question. Originally, what color was the Hulk?
Oh. Gray.
He was gray. Nicely done.
And then Professor Hulk and, what is his iteration when he's wearing a suit and he's like
He's
a
the
mob
boss. You can do
Yeah,
this.
he's a mob boss. I can't think of his freaking name.
Mr.
Oh, it's just Mr. Gray, isn't it?
I don't think that's right.
No, what? Oh, I can't think of it right now. But he's gray in that as an homage to his original color as well.
They're out nerding me right now. I have no idea. Not a Marvel guy, though, so not too shocking.
Isn't it Mr. Fix-It?
Oh, it is Mr. Fix-It. You are absolutely right.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Steven, you're up, sir. Your easy question first. What is Two-Face's real name?
Harvey Dent.
And your hard question, that's correct, by the way. Your hard question, what does Batman ask Superman when they first meet in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice? And I will caution you, this is when they first meet in costume as their characters, not that awkward paparazzi scene going into Lex Luthor's house.
So I'm imagining it's the "Do you bleed" quote.
Oh, you will. That is correct.
Oh, man, that's. I'd rather watch the Snyder cut than watch Batman v Superman twice. I
have heard the director's cut's better, but I just can't get over Batman in a car mowing down people with a machine gun. It just doesn't. It rubs me the wrong way.
Against parademons, fine. Against thugs,
well,
no.
Zack Snyder's got this whole like toxic masculinity thing when it comes to superheroes, where they can only be heroic by killing other people. It's a whole thing. I can tell you.
I mean,
it doesn't bother me.
Zod's neck is snapped in this universe. So.
It doesn't bother me in the MCU for some reason. It doesn't rush against me in the MCU, but like Batman's the character I associate with like ultimate restraint and not crossing that road. And like in the
Batman's
Snyderverse,
whole thing is he doesn't want any child to grow up without a parent.
Right.
And now he's making so many orphans everywhere he goes.
Right. And I think the reason, like MCU, like you get a lot of soldiers. Like Captain America, as stalwart as he is still an American soldier who killed people during a war.
But it's war.
Exactly. Yeah. So they never really defined that line. Spider-Man might be the only person who doesn't kill in the MCU, which he has killed, obviously, but.
He has.
I mean, they all killed a hell of a ton of aliens there in Endgame.
It's true.
He did say activate instant kill.
Yeah.
I will say that the thing that, because there's the whole argument of Thanos versus Darkseid. At least Darkseid had the niceness to remove the personality from the parademons. They were literally just their slaves.
That's true.
Oh my God! Speaking about Darkseid, there's that. Okay, I'm gonna just take over for a second. There's that in shot where they're looking through the portal on the Snyder cut. All the Justice League are looking through the portal at Darkseid, and he's staring back at them. One fucking Omega Beam. The entire Justice League is dead. All he's got to do is blink, and he's won. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? And we know he has the Omega Beams. He showed us it. It's not like he forgot that power. Literally, he blinks and they're all dead. What are you doing?
Well, to be fair, Superman might survive. But it's a hard emphasis on the word
Superman
might.
Survives. Maybe.
Yeah. No, but absolutely. It's the boom tube is open for so long. Why the fuck does he not just step through it? But
I don't get it. Well, how did he forget the one planet where he got stabbed on? How do they not instantly know that that's not the planet? Does every planet have 3 mother boxes sitting around? Is that not an unusual thing? Wouldn't you know instantaneously? Why does only one mother box wake up when Superman's? It makes no sense. It still makes no sense. I'm sorry.
Let's not forget that it did set up The New Gods, a movie that we are never actually going to get.
Because it got axed.
It
did. Like Superman's shoulder.
The trench getting axed doesn't bother me. The fact that they axed The New Gods that irks me a little bit.
I was excited to see Orion on the big screen for a change.
I'm actually excited to see pretty much anything Ava DuVernay does, but her doing a comic book movie, I was in. Neither here nor there. I believe we're back to Tony. Is that right? Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Tony, question. I don't know what number we're on. We're gonna start with your easy question though. What superheroine was inhabited by the soul of an ancient Egyptian goddess? And that is a DC Comics character.
The Enchantress.
That is not correct.
What?
An ancient Egyptian goddess. And superheroine, the Enchantress, not a superhero.
It depends on what she is in some. You're not talking... Okay, I feel like I'm getting just caught up on so many different versions. She-Hulk?
Now, that's not the name I know her by. I'm going to pull up the Enchantress. Hold on one second and just validate where her origin story lies.
So, isn't this obviously ISIS?
No, it's Hawk Girl, guys. It's Hawk Girl.
Actually, it's Hawk Woman, but she
Yeah,
isn't. She's not.
I don't know her.
Yeah,
as
she's
Hawk
a reincarnation of an alien.
Yeah, she is not Egyptian. She appears Egyptian, but she's an alien through and through.
Yeah, she's cursed to be reborn so she can keep finding her man over and over again. Come on.
Yeah.
I object to the card.
It's a valid point. That's a valid point. They could be taking this from the iteration of the terrible opening season of DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh.
Which, by the way, of the Arrowverse shows, has gone on to become by far the best Arrowverse show.
This is the least stinky pile of manure we have on the lot.
I don't care. That show is fun. I love that show. Okay. Tony, I'm giving you points.
Okay.
And we're on to your hard question. Which member of the X-Men has the ability to phase through solid without being harmed?
Ooh, one of my favorite, Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde is correct. What I could not justify there is what is the difference of phasing? Is what Nightcrawler does not considered phasing?
No, it's teleportation.
No,
he teleports. He teleports into a brimstone and hellfire dimension, and then teleports back out of it into a different area.
See, did not know that. Not a Marvel guy. Sorry, everybody. Your host.
That's
sucks.
why it smells like sulfur when he disappears.
Yes,
that makes sense.
I love the vamp, which is for people who don't know, is how they kind of signify that he's teleporting in the comic books. It's the sound it makes.
Can we talk about the fact that we got one iteration of him in X2, and then like they said, we don't need any more Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler. We can do X3 without him. Like the best part of X2, this tortured soul, this character with an insanely cool and yet insanely cruel character arc is left out of the Brett Ratner version of X3. I'm not defending the douchebag that did X-Men 1 and 2, but that's the most compelling character you've given me, aside from maybe Wolverine, who's just compelling because he's actually cool. That made no sense to me. Sorry, I went on a diatribe.
I never noticed that he wasn't in X3.
Yeah, he's completely gone.
I think it's because I loved the 1990s X-Men animated version of him so much that when I saw the 2003 version of Kurt Wagner, who is German instead of Bolivian, it was a little weird.
They need to tie that World War II rope a little bit more tightly is what it ends up being.
Absolutely.
I remember the episode of the X-Men animated series where Wolverine finds Jesus because of Nightcrawler.
Oh, we ignore that episode.
I went back and started watching that on Disney Plus. I don't care. Except I think it's Jubilee. That's the first mutant that you see.
Fireworks hands.
Yeah, she makes fireworks hands.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I loved it. I love that. I love the animated series. I don't care. You can talk bad about it all you want.
It holds up.
It's
so good.
Fun. It's
Yeah.
really
So
good.
good.
Steven, we're moving on to you. Your easy question. What is Mjolnir?
That's Thor's magic hammer.
It is Thor's magic hammer. Nicely done. And your hard question, and I don't know the answer to this other than I read it, but reading it, didn't know. In the Suicide Squad, what is written on Harley Quinn's bat?
Oh, I don't know. Well, that's another film I don't care to ever see again.
Hashtag release the air cut.
Puddin' Stick.
Puddin' Stick is unfortunately not correct. It is ironically written Good Night.
See, I would have guessed Puddin' Stick before I would have ever guessed Good Night.
Yeah. It's almost like there's an incongruity between the character's actions, thoughts, feelings, and history.
Ooh.
That being said, we got the trailer to James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
So much better.
Oh, it already.
So
That's
much better
more
already.
entertaining than the entire movie that I saw previously.
Agreed.
Agreed, but the original movie gave me Diablo, who was like my favorite DC Comics quote-unquote villain.
Really?
I love
Seriously?
Diablo. Yeah.
Diablo.
Out
Yeah,
of all-
Evil
if
Human
you
Torch for
would've-
some reason does it for me.
I think Diablo is somewhere below the Condiment King for me. I mean,
Screw you.
Ooh.
I will say this,
that's
though.
harsh.
David Desmalchin as Polka Dot Man, I'm on board for this. 100%. We're all going to die. I hope so.
So I'm
You
normally
know,
not a.
he's
a
the only
fan-
one that's going to make it. You
Yeah,
know
I
he's going
hope
to make it
so.
because he's the one that's constantly talking in the preview about wanting to die. So
I don't
I'm normally
care,
not
man.
a fan of wrestlers turned actors, but John Cena as Peacemaker just makes sense to me on a primal level. I don't know why.
If this whole beach were dicks, I'd eat them for the name of freedom.
Yeah,
I love
can we
it.
just pause and just what a wonderful time that Starrio is going to be in a movie. One of the best villains ever. Fucking Starrio is in a villain. That's it right there. If like the entire preview had just been like, general audience, and then the word Starrio flashed on the screen and disappeared, you would have sold my ticket. Yes, all that.
Hey, you're a villain,
Shoot out
guys.
starfish. Come on.
This giant starfish is the big bad.
giant sentient psychic starfish.
That's true. He's Gorilla Grodd, but in a starfish.
Yeah, it's an alien starfish at that. Like, what the? I love it.
All right,
Can't
Tony,
wait.
speaking of things that you love, let's get back to the trivia here. What is Captain America's real name? And I am referring to the obviously...
Steve Rogers.
There you go.
Yeah. Not. Oh God, I don't even want to talk about him. Wyatt Russell's Jack, whatever his last name is.
It doesn't. Well, there's been a million different Captain Americas, or there's a
Oh,
number
yeah.
of Captain Americas in the movie, in the comic book version. But which city is patrolled by the Green Arrow?
Star City. Also, if you've watched the Arrowverse, you also would recognize it as Starling City.
So again, I like the DC version, the DC. There you go. I actually like the CW version of that show. I get it that they couldn't get Batman, so they made Batman into Green Arrow. I enjoyed it. I will not apologize. I actually really like that version of Arrow. But neither here nor there. Let's move on. Steven, we went off on a tangent. My wife is going to yell at me when this is over. Steven, you're up. Easy question first. What does the S on the Superman crest stand for?
Well, it stands for fucking Superman, but they're going to say hope.
Hope is the correct answer. We're talking about
But it stands for fucking
Fucking
Superman.
Superman,
That's what it
agree.
stands for. It stands for hope. No, it doesn't.
I am a huge Henry Cavill fan, but fuck that line.
I like Henry Cavill. Just the reloading of the muscles in Mission Impossible. Just damn.
Oh, so good.
It's so good. Steven, what is Wolverine's real name?
Well, that's a little bit of a trick question.
It
Do they
is.
say Logan?
No, it is not Logan. We're looking for the actual name that he had in the movie universe.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So like when he's his Little Roy Fountainroy there in Canada. So it's not Patch. What is his real name? Because he has like 3 or 4 fake names. It's not Logan. It's James. It's something stupid. James Howlett.
Holy shit, he got there.
Yep. I was
Nicely
like, oh,
done,
damn it, I know
Steven.
this one.
Nobody's gonna call him fucking James. Come on.
James Howlett is the correct answer.
He also goes by James Logan at one point, which is where the name Logan comes from.
Yeah, but there's no reason why he picks Logan. That's one of those like Wolverine is a great character because he's got a mysterious backstory. So here's 30 different books that explain the backstory and ruin it.
Yep.
It's like I don't need to know what he was.
I'm just going to say this right now. This is one of my favorite episodes of all time. We're dirty about comic book stuff. I'm drinking some good whiskey. Like, this is just fun for me. All right, Tony, we're on to you.
Yeah.
What is Hal Jordan's superhero name?
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern is correct. Your hard question. Did not know this coming in, and I actually love DC Comics.
Ooh.
Wonder Woman's indestructible gauntlets are made of what?
They're Hestia's bracers. Oh.
Looking for the material they're made out
Yeah.
of.
I don't think I know this one. Is it gold? It's not gold. It's not something as simple as gold, is it?
I need an answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, he's tapped out. Steven, do you have a guess?
Silver?
It's
I
not.
don't know.
It's a made-up chemical called feminum.
Feminum.
Boo!
That is awful.
That is all. Well, yeah, that's awful.
They must
Awful
have come
name.
up with that like in the 70s where to make her a modern woman, they took away her powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been during that era.
All right, Steven, What is the name of the man who supposedly shot and killed Thomas and Martha Wayne? And this is, again, not in the Burtonverse, in the common iteration of the comics.
So we're going with Joe Chill?
Joe Chill is correct. Your hard question, don't know how hard this is, but we'll go with it anyway. What is the name of the leader of the Inhumans?
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt is correct.
I still wanted that as a TV or as a movie.
Did you see like the 2 or 3 episodes they did?
I saw the first episode and said, nope.
Have you noticed like it's on Disney Plus, but if you look up Inhumans on Disney Plus on like other recommended things, there's nothing there.
I did
Like
not
it
know
doesn't
that
link
was
you to
even
any
on
of
Disney.
the other Marvel stuff.
That is hilarious. That is Kevin Feige saying, do not put it near my stuff.
Yeah, it's like
It was weird, though, because like Feige announced the Inhumans as a movie, and then it magically moved over to the television area, which he had no control over, and then they had what I thought was a decent cast, and then gone. Just poof.
Yeah, because it was bad.
Oh, it was so bad. I got 20 minutes into the first episode and turned it off. I haven't actually seen any of it other than the first 20 minutes of that first episode, and I was like, I'm done. I'm out.
You're better off. You're better off.
I have better things to do with my time, like listen to, edit, and promote pub trivia podcasts. All right, Tony, we're back to you. Easy question first. Who is Clark Kent's love interest?
Lana Lane. I mean, sorry, nah. Lois Lane.
Lois Lane is a correct answer. Lana Lang, I would have accepted, though.
Yeah, it would have been
yeah,
right.
that would have been good.
In one iteration of it, yes.
Well, in most.
Most, that's his
That's true.
Smallville girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
He
true.
dumps her to get with Lois.
Your tough question here, your hard question. Which of the Flash's enemies uses reflections and deceptions to fool his opponent?
Ooh, that is a fun question because I love this rogue gallery and it's Mirror Master.
It is definitely Mirror Master, who we have yet to see in any iteration of the Flash outside of comics.
No, he was on the Arrowverse. It was just a very shitty version of him.
Okay, that doesn't count then. They gave me a decent version of Grodd, a decent version of Reverse Flash. Old Barry,
As
what
much
was
as
his
I love-
name? What was Old Barry's name?
Savitar.
Savitar, and they gave me a couple of decent, okay versions. That version, and Mr. Plizik, what's his name? The weird guy that has no vowels in his name.
Mixoplitlick.
Steven, what's his name?
I think
Mr.
Mixoplitlick.
Yeah,
Mixoplitlick.
that's.
I think he got it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Tony. I apologize, but yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's okay.
yeah.
Well, that's a Superman villain, so should be.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
I thought that was a Supergirl TV show that did that.
It might have been. I actually like the Supergirl show. Neither here nor there. All right, let's take a look here. So, Steven, you're currently in the lead by 1. The score going into your round, and you're the second person to go. You are 23-22 with a 1-point lead. Your easy question: who played Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That is correct. And your hard question: which Australian actress stars as the title character in the TV show Batwoman? And this is before the recasting.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was? I know her first. Is it Ruby Rose? I never watched the show, but I'm pretty sure that's who it was. Ruby Rose.
It is Ruby Rose, and I think the only thing I knew her from prior to Batwoman, I think, was Pitch Perfect 3.
Chris, do you want to admit that you've seen that movie?
I have definitely seen that movie. I love Anna Kendrick. I'm okay with that.
Okay. That is the only redeeming quality of those movies, but
Steven has got a 25-22 lead, and we're going to keep this truck moving. Starting with your easy question here, Tony. What is the name of Quicksilver's twin sister?
Wanda Maximoff?
Wanda Maximoff or the Scarlet Witch is correct. Your hard question: which Marvel character is also known as the Devourer of Worlds?
Ooh, I'm hoping he is at least somewhat on the docket in the MCU coming up. Galactus.
If Galactus is not on the docket in the MCU, Kevin Feige, I love you, my friend, but like, dude, go to hell. You've got to have a plan for Galactus. You've got to bring Galactus and Silver Surfer into the MCU at some point in some iteration, but it's got to be after you bring in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, our
Oh,
next big
sure.
bad has got to be Doctor Doom.
Oh God, I need
They've
it.
already got Latveria and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They got to
Well-
bring it in.
They didn't confirm Latveria.
It says that's where they are. They're in Latveria. There's no like Doombots walking around, but it says that's the location.
No, that was just Latvia. That wasn't Latveria.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah, Latvia, the real place, and Latveria, the made-up place. Yeah, I got really excited, and then I rewound it, and I was like, oh no, it's Latvia. But they did hint at Sokovia being cannibalized by surrounding nations, which Latveria is a surrounding nation of Sokovia.
Yeah, we got Meridopor. We got a fictional place. So
How
yeah, we
cool
did
is
get-
that, by the way? That entire scene was amazing.
Oh, that's such
yeah, that place looks great. Let's spend more time there.
We will with Shang-Chi.
That's true, we will.
We will.
Simu with Shang-Chi. I'm actually looking forward to that movie.
I am very excited for that movie.
Anyway, we can get Iron Fist back in because that.
Yeah, maybe we'll get
Oh
a
my
good Iron
God.
Fist finally.
Of the Netflix shows, like by far, I love Jessica Jones. I love Daredevil. I love the first 5 episodes of Luke Cage.
Before
Luke
they
Cage
got
season
rid of
2. I will go to bat for Luke Cage season 2.
Season 2 is phenomenal. But Luke Cage season 2 is carried by the guy from what is his name?
Bushmaster. Is who you're
the
thinking.
Bushmaster.
No, I'm not
Yes.
thinking of Bushmaster. Shades.
No?
The guy who played Shades.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Season 2 is not carried by Bushmaster. It's carried by Shades, and it's carried by Cottonmouth's sister.
Yeah.
And then the end of season 2 pissed me off. The end of season 2 made no sense. Okay, we've gotten off on another tangent. My wife will yell at me later. We're moving on. Steven, your easy question. The Boy Wonder is the nickname of what superhero?
Robin.
That is correct. Your hard question. The 2005 movie Sin City was based on a comic book from what publisher?
Oh, I know it was Miller. Who was the actual publisher though? Was it Image?
It was not Image. It was Dark Horse Comics.
Damn it! I knew it was one of the two indies. Okay.
well, Dark Horse is owned by DC now, so it doesn't even matter.
And Tony, you've pulled it within 2 points. We're moving on to you. Your easy question. The Caped Crusader is a nickname for what superhero?
Red Tornado. No, of course it's Batman.
Red Tornado.
So
I was trying to think of-
First of all, nice pool for Red Tornado. That's some deep nerd love.
That's a great nerd love right there, Tony. Cheers, my friend. That's great.
I was trying to think of like another non-obvious superhero that wears a
You
cape,
went
and I was
to
just
Red
like,
Tornado.
I was either going original Green Lantern or Red Tornado, but Red Tornado took less words, so I went with that one.
All right, Tony, your hard question. Which X-Men mutant has the power of plasmoid, quote-unquote, reworks?
Plasmoid reworks. I don't even know what that means. I want to say the obvious answer that they're probably trying to go for is Cyclops, but I'm going to take issue if that's the right answer.
Cyclops is not a correct answer. Steven,
Okay, good.
do you have a guess?
Plasmoid reworks.
If I
I
said
don't know.
the term Sparkle Fingers, would that help at all?
Yes!
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Yeah, it's Jubilee.
It's Jubilee.
Yeah, that would have been
Plasmoid
absolutely...
reworks. That's such bull. That's somebody who really likes Jubilee, but is embarrassed by how stupid her power is.
Oh,
So, like,
100%.
when I get a chance to write it, I'm going to call it Plasmoid Rework. It's fucking Sparkle Fingers. She makes fireworks, and her name is Jubilation. Come on.
Thank you for being outraged for that.
I will say this. I did search that question, and it is mentioned multiple times in the MCU as Plasmoid. And the reworks I couldn't necessarily fit in, but Plasmoid does fit into Jubilee.
That is awful.
I'm not justifying its authentic. I'm not justifying the fact that it's a good or a bad name. I'm justifying the authenticity of the question. Steven, you're up. What is the name of Peter Parker's aunt?
Aunt May.
Aunt May is correct. And your hard question, which mutant was the founder of the original Acolytes?
Founder of the original Acolytes. I don't even know if I know that group. founder of the original Acolytes. And it was a mutant?
Correct.
All right, a mutant that starts with an A. Avalanche.
Unfortunately, not correct. It's not start with an A. It's Fabian Cortez.
Oh, really? I thought it was. Acolytes are the Acolytes of Apocalypse?
No, that's a Horseman.
No, that is the
That's
Horseman.
the four horsemen of the
Never mind.
apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know this team.
Neither do I then.
I'm looking it up. I looked it up earlier. Let me take a look. The Acolytes Marvel. Google search is a wonderful thing. They are for Earth 616.
Sure.
That's the main Earth.
That's the main one, yeah.
And Fabian Cortez is the, according to Marvel Database, the leader of the Acolytes.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I just don't even know the team.
Formerly with Exodus, Magneto, Vought, and Joseph. Who the hell is Joseph?
They're a bad guy group.
Yeah, there's
It's
some
prior to
splinter
the
from
Brotherhood.
Over the
Brotherhood,
course
yeah.
of their existence, they have fought with the Avengers, Cable, Excalibur, Heroes for Hire, Quicksilver, X-Force, and X-Men.
Oh, here.
Okay. Here's what they strike me as the like the British version of the Brotherhood then.
Ah, that makes sense.
I bet you they were like the Excalibur bad guys.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure, but that's what it sounds like.
That absolutely sounds plausible because I've not read many Excalibur. Sorry, Captain Britain.
All right, here's how this is going to work. We've got a grand total of 4 questions left, 2 per person, before we close out this episode of Comic Book Trivia. Tony, you need to get both of these right to stay in the game. We're going to start with question, not even question number. We're going to start with the easy question. Shellhead is the nickname for which Marvel superhero? And I can confirm he was mentioned this in the MCU.
Really?
Yeah, I can remember him saying.
I don't remember. It's Iron Man, right?
It's definitely Iron Man.
I don't remember that in the MCU.
Was it Iron Man 2?
I feel like it was Iron Man 2, yeah.
Makes sense. That's my least favorite Iron Man.
It's
so-
everyone's
I
least
feel
favorite
like
Iron Man.
Brody calls him that or something.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, and Tony, your hard question. This will be to tie the game. In what Netflix superhero TV show would you find the villain Kilgrave?
That would be Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones is your correct answer. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie game here. It is currently sitting.
1 second, Chris, because Kilgrave is played by the phenomenal David Tennant, and that the character is just, mwah, that he does it for me in so many different ways.
All right, we've got a tie game. Steven, you've got 2 questions left. If you get either of these questions right, you are our comic book trivia champion. We're going to build suspense here. We're going to start with a hard question.
Get it wrong.
I'll see what I can do.
Why did General Zod survive the destruction of Krypton?
Oh,
Well, if I can remember what happened to the people of Planet Houston, he was in the Phantom Zone.
He was in the Phantom Zone. That is correct.
Kneel before Zod.
Steven, your easy question because we're delaying the inevitable here. What is the name of Thanos' glove?
The Infinity Gauntlet.
It's the Infinity Gauntlet. Nicely done. And Steven, with that, you are our comic book champion. Take a bow, my friend.
Woohoo! I did not have a lot of sex in high school, and it shows.
A lot?
I did. What the fuck did I do wrong?
Ladies and gentlemen, Steven is your champion. Leo will add a tally to his win total, which is becoming, quite honestly at this point, unbearable.
I will say that I was just like, oh, okay, comic books. I should have most everybody in the bag on this. And then I was like, Chris, who am I playing against tonight? He was like, Steven. I was like, shit.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I will say, I'll throw this out there for those of you that are comic book fans. If you've enjoyed this episode, we are launching our first Patreon. We're going to have details at the beginning or the end of this episode. You'll be able to learn from that. One of the Patreon exclusives that we're going to be launching is going to be literally a comic book centric episode of comic book trivia. We're going to be going in and doing even more comic book trivia. there's going to be a couple different layers to that. So listen to the bumper at the beginning or the end of this recording. You'll be able to find out more. And that Patreon, just so you guys know, that Patreon that we're building out is going to be your home for bonus content, not just for the pub trivia experience, but also for boozy bracketology. And God knows, we actually spent about a half hour talking about this before the recording, but for fans of pub trivia experience, if you're a fan of video games, you want to listen to boozy bracketology, because Steven, I'll let you tell our listeners, what is boozy bracketology doing in the coming months?
Well, we're trying to tee up a best video game franchise bracket coming up here.
And have we not gone through just a lot of argument about what should and should not be on that bracket?
Honestly, I don't think we need to do the bracket, because we have discussed it so much just trying to put the damn thing together.
It is
that
true.
I pretty much know how I'm going to vote for the entire way.
I feel more prepared for this than I did even for the comic book one.
For one, I am the host of that bracket because I have not played. I've actually played about 7.5% of the games on there. I'm looking forward to it. We have got 5 panelists. We're going to be bringing in some of our friends from our not our sister podcast, but friends of ours from the Things I Got Wrong trivia podcast. They're going to be coming over. They're going to be making picks with us. It's going to be a good time. You can find it over on the Boozy Bracketology podcast, along with, for certain levels of Patreon, new brackets every month you'll be able to listen to. But find the Boozy Bracketology podcast, or, hey, the Pub Trivia Experience podcast, literally wherever you get podcasts, we are available. For fans of the Pub Trivia Experience, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram, Pub Trivia Experience, on Twitter at Pub Trivia Pod. But for the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Steven.
I've been Tony.
And Steven, my friend, congratulations on winning tonight. We will see you all next week with a brand new episode. Have a good one, everyone.
The only reason it worked is Stephen Amell. I will be
he's
honest. If it had been any other actor, it would not have worked, because it.
Well, so hold on. So, tangent alert. My wife hates when we go on tangents. She's gonna hate listening to this episode, by the way. Stephen Amell is good, but it's not just him. He spawned off Barry Allen as the Flash, so Grant Gustin as the Flash, who's actually a legitimately good Flash. The supporting cast there's not my favorite, but it's fine. But freaking Brandon Routh is the Atom.
Okay,
works for me.
Yeah, that for sure definitely has some good parts, but I don't think I could have taken another serious actor trying to pull off a Batman-esque Arrow, because I'll never forget the boxing glove Arrow.
Dude, they did the boxing glove scene in Arrow.
Though. I
laughed. I laughed.
Yeah.
When he put his arrow, when he had the boxing glove on the arrow when he shot it, I took a screen grab of that and sent it over to my buddy Adam, who's the world's biggest Green Arrow fan, and he just goes, "I hate that freaking show." I don't care. Arrow is a dumb character, in my opinion. It's my least favorite of the quote unquote Justice League. That version of the show made it at least somewhat interesting. I like Stephen Amell. The dude's all good in my book.
Definitely.
Steven has been uncharacteristically quiet, which means he disagrees with everything that we've said.
Listen, I never got into Arrow. It's like, if I want to watch a superhero Archer, I want to watch Kate Bishop. She's the most interesting of all the Archer characters.
Well, it's happening.
Yeah, it's going to happen, so I'm happy for that. But, she's the best.
I'm interested to see where they go with the Kate Bishop character. I actually like the Clint Barton character from the movies. I like the fact that they gave him a backstory and they actually gave him some stuff that honestly for a lot of turmoil that honestly for a long time in the comics it lacked. it didn't seem like it was until like the 2003 or 2004 version of Hawkeye where they actually gave that character like a meat and potatoes to him. It was
when he wasn't from the circus, you mean?
Yeah. When you get
Yeah.
The Hawkeye My Life as a Weapon run is really great. There's also there's a one shot of the Avenging Spider-Man. It was a real short series where like every issue was Spider-Man plus one other Avenger, and the issue of that with Spider-Man and Hawkeye is really, really good. It's a really, really good like look into the psyche of Hawkeye. So I would highly recommend that.
I like Hawkeye's one of my favorite. He's might be my favorite MCU character. Him and Chris Evans as Cap is, to me, perfect casting. That guy's amazing in that role. I didn't like that at all.
Pissed me off too, but
Luke Cage. The first 5 episodes of season 1 are phenomenal. Season 2 is phenomenal until the very, very end. But
still way better than whatever we got in Iron Fist.
It's still way better than we got in the freaking Defenders. And the Defenders should have been amazing, and it was.
The Defenders had the wrong villain. Had the wrong villain.
Did it have a villain?
About the hand.
Only Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil. The first 3 seasons of Daredevil are some of the best television I've ever seen.
Charlie Cox is one of the first persons I ever got to see and meet at a con. So
dude,
Daredevil holds up. He's a very nice guy.
We have a picture of Leah and I getting a picture with him. Where is it? It's right there. We have a picture of Leah and I getting a picture with him. First off, very small. I'm 6'2". He's a small dude.
He is like 5'7". He's shorter than I am, and I am short.
We met him, like legitimately waited like an hour to meet him, and the nicest guy in the world. Like, we got to talk to him. He was, so if you haven't seen, I know some of you guys have probably seen this, but Theory of Everything.
I've seen it.
He is the in that movie. He's the guy that's flirting with Felicity Jones's character, Stephen Hawking's wife, and he makes that character relatable and believable. He's actually a really good actor, and they got him in a comic book TV show, and he nailed it. He is Matt Murdock.
Stardust, but
I'm excited. Spider-Man No Way Home. Stamp my passport. I'm in. I'm so ready for that movie. You're gonna give me Matt Murdock. You're gonna give me Charlie Cox in the MCU, and theoretically gonna give me a multiverse that includes Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Electro, and Doc Ock, and Green Goblin.
Doc Ock coming back is huge.
Yeah.
And Sam Raimi is involved in the MCU, so you know he's going to get consulted.
I'm so excited. I'm legitimately so excited. I know some people hate the Spider-Man version of Tobey Maguire. I don't care. Spider-Man 2, when we've talked about this in Boozy Bracketology, Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite bar none comic book movies. It is a seminal film. It is one of the films that, for me, put comic book movies on the map, because that movie, top to bottom, even today, holds the shit up. That movie's great.
Absolutely. It is definitely the best of the early comic films.
Whoa. I don't like the Purple Man, but the Purple Man.
You're very pro the rapey guy. That's cool.
I'm very pro David Tennant. Let's be clear on that.
It's weird that in the show, like, he's clearly raping her, but in the comics he actually doesn't. He makes her watch why he rapes other girls and he forces her to get for him. So I don't know which one's sicker, but
the Purple Man is not a good character in any means, way, shape, or form.
No.
David Tennant just pulls it off very well.
Yeah.
It's very. I actually think it's very deftly handled from a survivor's perspective in the show. I think Kristen Ritter, of the superheroes, if you want to call them superheroes from the Netflix series, Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones might be my favorite. I think that's such a layered and it's a layered performance and a nuanced performance, and it could just be the fact that, like, Daredevil is my favorite superhero from the Netflix shows, one of my favorite superheroes of all time. But, like, we all know what Catholic guilt does.
Do we? Do we?
I think
all of us.
We can. Okay.
Most of us.
A lot of. I'm from New England.
New York, I understand. Don't worry.
You're from Long Island. You get this. I can put myself in those shoes.
Yeah.
But I can put myself in Jessica Jones's shoes for a completely different reason.
Oh, she's the most human of the non-human characters.
By far. Like Kristen, I was one of the people that said Kristen Ritter's going to be a terrible choice. I don't want to watch Jessica Jones. And then season 1 of Jessica Jones is amazing. And then season 2
phenomenal.
is a freaking letdown.
It's probably the best season of any Marvel TV show.
Of any comic book TV show.
Yeah. Yes.
It is the single best season of any comic book TV show ever made.
Yeah, and that one... It amazed me because I was really looking forward to that one because I was a big Alias comic fan. That was like when people learned I was a comic book fan, if they ever asked me, like, what's the first comic book I should read to get into them, I would always tell them, start with Alias.
That is
incredibly well written, and you don't have to know a lot of the lore to go into it.
It doesn't feel like a comic book. It feels like a graphic novel, really. Like it's not.
Well, it is. I would recommend that or Gotham Central. Those are the two I would always start people with.
I didn't like Gotham Central, so God bless.
Gotham Central is brilliant. You stupid whore. Yeah, Gotham Central is a great comic.
Okay, I've got the issues of Gotham Central. I'm just going to mail them to you because I'm never.
Oh, please do! I would love to reread Gotham Central.
I'm pretty sure I have them in one of my long boxes.
I don't know if I've ever actually read Gotham Central.
Oh, it's brilliant! It's brilliant. It's like a police
pick
procedural in Gotham. So, like, Batman's off fucking around with the Joker, and meanwhile, your partner's getting killed by Mr. Freeze. It's a great.
I might have to read that.
Yeah, it's like beat cops trying to deal with Batman villains. It's brilliant.
It is.
That sounds amazing.